HPR. I'm gonna cut this out, tack weld it in, and go from there. Well, you know, like I've said before, when you start modifying something, you can't think of everything. And here we go. Only reason I put the tank back on is because I've had it before when I was welding it, this would spread. So I wanted to make sure that it spread when I laid this tack here. That tack's coming out, but that's beside the point. That way I got it tacked here, here, and here. So when I take it off and re-weld it, she won't spread, hopefully. Well, my point being is, this is where I screwed up when I cut this back. Forgot about this, and I planned on putting a panel right here that would bolt from behind and lay flush. Well, the problem, turn some light on for you. Not that anybody really cares, but it doesn't give me a lot of room to play. And I didn't, even if this was perfectly smooth, I don't want this to show. I seen where they'll cut a panel and come from behind and bolt it in, and it'll be flush right here. But son of a bitch. But anyway, still rough. So I'm gonna go back and weld this, and then hopefully I can get as far as I want today. I probably won't, but wow. HPR Underground Auto 1. I liked the man. Man was crazy like me. When I mean crazy, I don't mean no disrespect, but crazy. Crazy like me. How do I say it? Fuck it, just spit the shit out. I go through a depression, a manic depressant. Yeah, I am. Bipolar and ADHD. The only reason I say this is because I don't need no fucking sympathy from anybody, because it doesn't help. You can take medication. That's what medication is. It's a big funnel. It comes down to a small point. It's like when you put oil in a car. Different medications work for different things. You know, like Prozac, Depakote, Klonopin. Fuck it, there's all kinds of shit. Been there, done that. They're not a cure-all answer. Actually, like Xanax. Xanax. I was on that for a while, but anyway, actually some of these medications, if you take them too long, the way I've understood from my doctor, which I believe her, is that she had to take me off it because it worked, but your I don't know how to say it, your brain will get used to it, and it'll actually counter-react it and make you get more severely depressed. My point being, I'm not judging HPR. Everybody has their own life. I wish he would have reached out and called me, because I've talked to him about it way back a couple years ago. I liked him because, you know why I liked HPR? Of all the things he was or wasn't, he's fucking loyal. You knew who he was. He didn't put no airs on. You took him as what he was, and if you didn't like it, here, fuck it. And my point being, I've been in that state of mind, and medication is one way to do it. Yeah, not saying against that, but the best thing to do is you got to reach out and touch somebody, because when you're in severe depression, what has happened to me is, I believe it happens when people go into that state. You never know when it's coming and going. It's like a fucking roller coaster anyway. Sometimes it's harder to deal with than others, but your brain tells you that nobody cares and nothing matters, and that's not true. That's not true. That's just your brain not functioning or triggering the way it should. And I own these words because I've been to enough shrinks. I've been to enough doctors. I don't care what people think. It's what I've had to do to stabilize. It would be like being a diabetic and fuck it, don't take diabetic pills. Don't go to the doctor for it. But when you talk about manic depressant, all people will shy away from that. You know, there's a lot of people that are manic depressant. There's a lot of people that I know personally that are. There's a lot of people on YouTube that I know personally that are. Would I ever say their name? No. No. There's no reason to. People don't like to talk about it. I used to be ashamed of it. I'm not proud of it. I just look at it this way. It was the cards that I was dealt. I was born this way. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying, if you know somebody that's depressed, don't blow it off, man. Don't blow it off, because it's not a fucking joke. Unless you've been through severe depression, you don't have a clue what the fuck it is. You know, you don't have a clue. Because I've had people say in my life, well, just walk it off. It's not that fucking easy. And apparently they've never had it. You know, it's just a mind fuck game. That's why I went off on that one YouTuber, and I didn't mean to, but when he wanted to give up, it triggered something inside me, because I want to give up all the time. You know, like I said, your brain is a fucking organ that is very powerful. It's just a chemical imbalance. That's all it is. You just reach out and touch somebody, because there's always somebody that cares. You know, the thing, to be honest, the reason I never went that motherfucking route, there was a person on YouTube that helped me. Basically, he fucking shoved it in my face and told me he had a choice, which he did right. This is why I didn't take that route. And it's the only reason, to be honest, because that's why I didn't take that route. Because you hurt a lot of people that you don't realize care about you. You affect a lot of lives. Your family, your friends, your wife, your parents. I've seen it happen. I told you before about my brother's friend named Kevin. It affects a lot of people, and that's never the solution. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. It's a shame. I went back and watched his videos, and the dude makes me smile because he's fucking real. He's as real as it fucking gets. Rest in peace, Hal. Yep, the compressor's going. You know, I wish I could weld better. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could weld like little C's, you know, dimes, whatever. I'm not gonna say it's my machine. I'm gonna say it's my. Will it leak? I don't believe so, but once I pressure check it underwater with air, I believe you put like 10 pounds of air in it and submerge it in water, and you'll find out. but I got a ways before I gotta do that. That's just roughed in right now because I still gotta hack into the rest of the tank. And I haven't told you what I've been talking about, but you'll see. That's why I cut these tacks off. You'll see. Piece of property. Piece of oneself. Piece on earth. Rest in peace. Bigger piece of pie, piece of action, piece of the puzzle, piece of pussy, piece of corn dog, piece of pizza. And when the big dogs get all done eating, even the puppies like me get a piece of something. Motherfucker. Parental guidance. Enjoy your evening. Yeah, that's an all-day event. I did weld in all the plasma marks too. I haven't checked them, but I did check with a flashlight and I didn't see anything, but that doesn't mean anything either, you know. This is what I figure about metal. This is why I don't get discouraged. I used to. I'd love to be able to weld real well. I had a guy I bought the welder from. This is my teaching on welding. When you're using a MIG and you're welding and it sounds like bacon frying in a frying pan, he said it's pretty good. That is the extent of my training. No excuses. I always wanted to go back to night class to learn how to weld, because in my world, if you can weld little C's, it make you wanna write home and tell mom about it, which that don't make no sense. It means that you're proud. Welding is a technique. You gotta do it a lot. I wish some days I could weld real damn good. I could do the little C's, and then other days, I don't know if it's impurities in the metal, because I make sure everything's real clean, but that's just an excuse. Fuck that. You gotta learn to adapt in life. That's what you have to do. Warm weather is coming down the road in about another week. That's what they tell me. When in doubt, whip it out.